So it's March of 2023. We're in the midway point between the iPhone 14 being launched and when the new iPhone comes out, usually around September, October. So the question is, should you buy an iPhone 14 now or should you wait for the new iPhone? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 options that you could consider. So let's take a look. So in my last video, I talked about why I wouldn't be upgrading from an iPhone 11 to an iPhone 14. And I started thinking about, after making that video, hey, what would I get if I were in the market to get an iPhone right now? What would my options be? So I did some research, took a look at the choices that are out there. So this table shows you all the iPhones that are out right now. It shows you the prices that you can get them for if you were to buy them new. Now below that, I have the time left. On average, I give my phones about 4 years before I buy a new phone. And that's just a good measure so I can calculate across the board. Now, that's not the case for all the phones. 13 Pro has the same amount of power as the current iPhone 14. So I bumped it up 1 more year. I did the same thing with the 14 Pro and the Pro Max as well. So, but typically, I wait about 4 years for the phone, and that helps me to calculate how much I'm spending per year if I were to get the phones at that period in time. So when I do the calculation, I divide the amount of the phone by the amount of years left, and I get the amount. Looking at the phones, an older phone is not really worth it because even though it's a reduced price phone, it's not going to last as long. So I'm going to be spending a lot per year before I need to buy a new phone. So I'm only having the phone for 1.5 years maybe before a new phone is required. Again, I could use a phone for another year as well, say like 2.5, and that could reduce the amount. But typically I'd stay away from the older phones. Now looking at the iPhone 14, because we're already midway through, we don't have the full amount of time with the phone. And so not getting the phone at the cheapest amount, right now it's $256.86. Now if the new phone, the iPhone 15 comes out, and if it comes out at the same price point, and hopefully it does, because it's already at $900, but I'd have the full 4 years, and that will mean that I would spend $224.75 compared to $256.86. So unless there's a specific characteristic that's going to be missing from the new lineup, there is really no reason to get the current model. Just wait a few months until it comes out. So that would be option 1, just to wait. The best time to get that model's phone is when it comes out, because it gives you the maximum amount of usage of that phone. So wait a few months. You've been able to last this long with your current phone, so you can last a few more months until the new phone comes out. So that's option 1. So option number 2 is to get an older phone. Now I know I just said that we shouldn't get an older phone unless there's a feature that will not be returning to the newer models. Now that feature is the weight and the size of the phone. Now I went to Japan just recently. I use my phone a lot to get from place to place, to look up directions, addresses, what's good to eat over there. I found myself reaching for my older, smaller phone, and it was light. It's like I'm not carrying anything. I can do everything I needed to do with one hand. So that's the reason I would get an iPhone 13 mini right now. It's the most powerful small phone. I can't believe they put everything in the iPhone 13 into the iPhone 13 mini. It's so amazing. I'm tempted to get it, but I won't. I hope that when it's time for me to get a new phone, that Apple releases a smaller form factor phone again, because the ones that came out with this lineup with the iPhone 14s are really big and heavy. So please, Apple, make a small form factor again. Now my last option may not be what you think, but if you like what you're seeing so far, click the like button, subscribe to the channel. Now let's take a look at option number 3. Option number 3 is to look at the Pro versions. Now this goes against everything that I've said so far. So don't get an older phone, don't get a heavy phone, and don't get $1,000 phone. I took a look at the Pro version of the iPhone 13 and compared it with the iPhone 14. As far as power goes, they're exactly the same. They have the same processing power and the same amount of memory, meaning that it's like you're not losing time. You have the same amount of time with the iPhone 13 Pro when you look at the specs. Now, when I looked at the features of it, the iPhone 13 Pro blows away the iPhone 14. If you're looking at the sheet that I have right now, you can see all the features that it has. And the ones that stick out to me are the telephoto lens, the macro photo and video, the nighttime portrait modes. Those are things that I would use all the time. And in addition to that, there's a bunch of other features as well. Now, getting a phone for $1,000 is not an option for me. So what I did was I took a look at some of the refurbished sites. Now, Apple doesn't have that on their refurbished site. The last time I checked, as of now, only the iPhone 12s are on there. But as far as the iPhone 13s, I've seen it on other refurbished sites for the same price as the iPhone 14 new. And so you want to take a look at what the refurbished policies are and see what kind of phone that you're getting. Weigh the pros and the cons. Are you getting a new battery? Are you getting a used battery? And those types of things. So weigh the pros and the cons of it. But if I were in the market for a phone right now, that is something that I would look at. So these are the options that I would use. I went through the process as if I were going to get a phone right now. And so these are the things that I would do for that. I hope that helped you out in your journey of buying a new phone. I know in these crazy times, you want to make sure you get the best deal out there right now. And so if you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hey, if you use one of these options, put it in the comments below. And we love to hear from you and talk story. Until next time, aloha.